I didn't initially want to make a video about the C-Tug because there are already so many available, but seeing as my kayak is a model on the Railblazer site, I changed my mind. This is my kayak, fully set up, ready to go. You normally transport a kayak when it's not fully set up, because all the attachments waggle and vibrate, even on a smooth surface. This picture shows my old inflatable kayak. I got it already at home, and I had to pull it a good kilometre or so. For the C-Tug, that was no problem, although for me, it was quite a struggle as I live on a hill. Pulling all of this uphill is quite hard work, and no fun at all. To launch, I simply loosened the strap and pushed it into the water, then just pulled the C-Tug out. You could just as easily take the kayak off on the bank. It all depends on the depth of the water and the weight of the kayak. One great thing is that the C-Tug can be dismantled fully, and then it will fit anywhere, on the back of the kayak or stowed in the front like in this picture. It's quite practical and doesn't take much space when you carry it with you. My C-Tug has been stored outside in the dirt next to my kayak for over a year and a half. It's covered up, but sees all weathers and temperatures from 30 degrees down to -15. I've never washed it and it's absolutely fine. No major issues and it functions perfectly. I have a mooring point at the lake these days, but instead of a ramp the jetty has steps. However, carrying the kayak up and down these steps is not a problem. These are the most important specifications for the C-Tug. If you want to read those, just press pause. The most important thing is the load bearing capacity, which is 120 kilos. Quite a lot. For example, a Hobie Pro Angler 14, the hull weighs 55 kilos. If you add all your gear to that and any modifications you may have, you will still be under 80 kilos in total. And the Hobie Pro Angler 14 is one of the largest and heaviest kayaks available on the market. It does state depending on the ground. So if you really did load the C-Tug with 120 kilos, then of course you may have a problem on uneven ground, but still 120 kilos is quite a load. I have read a few internet reviews from other C-Tug users and noticed that there are some bad ones. But you still have to read them, especially if the reviewer claims that the C-Tug doesn't work well on sand. These people should do their research beforehand. There are sand wheels available for the C-Tug, so if you do read reviews from people who've done their research, you will read that there are no problems over sand with the sand wheels. With the sand wheels, the load capacity is only 80 kilograms, but as I said, this is still quite a lot. There are also reviews from people who have managed to break the foot off the C-Tug. I've done that too, but it's not the fault of the C-Tug, rather than the fault of the user. You just have to fold the foot up or back when you're transporting the kayak through the neighbourhood so it doesn't get caught up anywhere. If you leave it down and have any frontal collisions, if you're lucky the screw will just loosen a bit and you can tighten it up again. Or if you really tug on it impatiently like I did, then the foot will break off. So just take a couple of seconds, push the foot out of harm's way and it will work fine. To replace the foot you have to dismantle the C-Tug. I was confused because I tried to pull the two sections apart with my hands. I was on the chat system to them and they said just push the pins in, but I had to lever it apart with a screwdriver and then the procedure took about 5 seconds. It was so simple to replace that we don't really need to show it here. Just take it apart, old piece out, new one in, push it back together. Another good thing is that all the parts can be bought separately, so if you do break the foot off, you can simply order and install a replacement. One thing not to do with a C-Tug is shake it about in the air, because the wheels are held on by small pins. Keep it horizontal, it'll be fine, nothing will move and it'll stay put. Shake it around and you could lose a wheel. Incidentally, the wheels do not float. I recently lost one whilst manoeuvring the C-Tug. I could fish it out because the water was still, but if the worst were to happen then I could still order a replacement. To attach the kayak, just pass the strap through the clasp once. No need to wrap it around loads of times. There's a clamp which holds it tight. I have also heard from Railblazer that they have strengthened this too. I don't know why. I have the old one still and I've never had a problem with it. But then again, why not? Now it's even better, which can't be bad. The C-Tug is adjustable to fit the boat hull, which is pretty cool. So whether your kayak is narrow or wide, it will fit. If you still think 120 kilograms is too little, you can double up C-Tugs for increased load capacity for 2, 3, 4 kayaks if you can manage to connect them all together. If you have a small boat and think that the C-Tug is cool, then I would recommend you check out the dinghy wheels, a new product from Railblazer, specifically for small boats. Here we have a list of things not to do with the C-Tug. Pause the video if you want to read these. The most important thing is not to leave it in the sunlight as it's made of plastic. Use it in the summer, of course. Mine's been outside in the shade for a year and a half. but don't leave it in bright sunlight, as sun will destroy plastic and it will eventually become brittle. Don't overstress it. Remove the kayak from the C-Tug once you've transported it into the garage to avoid any damage. Anyone in Switzerland who's seen this video and is interested in a C-Tug can contact Roland, a colleague of mine, for further information or to check it out and go and see the thing. A kayak cart is not a particularly interesting item, it's a tool. Not as much fun as a kayak or a nice fishing rod, for me anyway. I want as little to do with it as possible. I want to get the kayak into the water and get out on it and go fishing. You can dismantle it in seconds if you want to take it with you, and reassemble it in seconds too, no problem. Throw it in the corner when you don't need it, no need to clean it, no need to repair it, and if something should fail then you can simply order a replacement part. And if you need to go over sand, just buy the sand wheels. It's a great piece of kit. The less time you spend getting your kayak into and out of the water means you've got more time to actually go fishing. And as we know, kayak fishing rocks silently.